This meeting is being recorded.
Go ahead. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eddie, and I am a compulsive overeater. Thank you, Dave, for leading the meeting. Thank you for Joe for asking me. Thank you for everyone being here today, because without you, I cannot have a meeting, and I need meetings. Anyway, I'm 67 years old, and I've probably been in recovery about 33 years from other addictions also. But food is the one that is the last one that's really haunting me. I was involved with alcohol and drugs before, and I'm recovered from that one day at a time. I thank you for what you read today about how it works. It is true that it works for us if we follow the path or it was being given to us. In Mother Fellowship, I read that statement and I said, well, this is what I got to do, and I followed it, and I got recovery. Now, for me, my addiction was that the food, I had certain foods that were toxic foods to me. I never knew it. And I was eating the foods that were keeping me crazy in my head, keeping me isolated, keeping me within myself and away from other people. And I was falling in love with food. Food was very addictive to me. These certain items, which I won't mention, were mostly sugar items. And I used to go to work and come home and start eating, eat my dinner, and then sit down and watch television.
Somehow you got muted, Ed.
When I came into OA, men came to me and told me what I was doing, that I was eating 6 meals, 4 meals a day, and a lot of junk in between and junk at nighttime. And he suggested eating 3 meals a day and nothing in between. And I grabbed onto that because that was a way to try and curtail my eating. I want to back up a second because I want to tell you how it was. I tried many different diets. There was a water diet, a fish diet, a grapefruit diet, all the kind of diets you've heard about. I was trying all those. And some had a little bit of success, but not a lot of success because it never lasted. Not knowing what my problem was in my head. Well, anyway, in trying all these diets, I figured I'd better reach out for help because I was really getting heavy. And I knew something was wrong because my health was changing. I called a rehab place there, and I asked the person, if what do you do if you have a problem with eating? And the lady suggested that I go to Overeaters Anonymous, and she suggested that there was a meeting that night, and I can go to it. So that's what I did. I went to the meeting, and I met people that said, go at least 6 other meetings, see if OA is for you. And they accepted me, and they, after the meeting, they said, go to another meeting, and I did that. And at another meeting, I met someone that was telling me that, I was eating too many meals a day and that I should try the Dignity of Choice from the pamphlet, 3 meals a day and nothing in between. And so I started on that, and lo and behold, a miracle happened. I got abstinent, and within 6 months, I lost 77 pounds. I was thrilled with that. But I didn't really realize what the real problem was my thinking, the way I was acting and all. I cut out going to meetings. I stopped calling people, and I thought I was doing good, and I was going out with my grandkids, my kids, and doing things. And before you know it, I started picking up food, and I wound up eating their leftovers and everything. And then I was gaining weight back real fast. I actually gained an extra 10 pounds from what I originally came in as, So in those first 6 months, I lost 77 pounds, and that was a great amount of loss for weight loss. So I started missing meetings, and I said, well, I'll keep trying. I'll go to meetings. Well, anyway, that was in 2007 when I started in OA in February. And it took 12 years for me to finally get some recovery. It was November 27th of 2019. I was teaching an English class for Chinese people, English as a second language. And they happened to know it was my birthday on December 4th. And I just got like 6-7 days abstinence. I was really happy. And then they gave me this birthday party. And I started praying. I said, God, please help me, because I know if I ain't eat any of that stuff tonight, I'm going to leave here and go to a convenience store and grab sugar items and go home like I always did and sit there, watch television, and just eat away the sugar items and ruin myself. Well, anyway, the higher power answered my prayers. I did not pick up any of that food that they had there or those items. And I was so relieved when I walked out of there. I said, thank you, God, for getting me through this. And so I just kept meeting. I was only making 2 meetings a week back then. And then, as everyone knows, the pandemic started, and there was a lockdown, stay-at-home stuff. And we started the free conference calls, and I got involved with that. And I was really afraid when the pandemic started, because I said to myself, there's no way I can sit home and not eat food while I'm watching television or nothing to do. Because idle time for me was like, okay, I need something to do, and eat a snack, eat food, something to take me outside of myself. So when the pandemic started, they started coming up with Zoom meetings, free conference calls. I started making more meetings. I was able to make anywhere from 7 to 9 meetings a week during the whole pandemic. And that really helped me. That really grounded myself in my recovery and my abstinence. So I've been abstinent over a year and a half, and I'm very happy with that. I have had weight loss, but I know today that it's not about my weight loss. It's about my head and how I think and what I do with my emotions and my feelings. For most of my life, I never was allowed to deal with feelings. I was never taught about them. I was told to be quiet, boys don't cry, things like that. So I dealt with my feelings with anger and running away from them and not covering them up and not feeling them. Actually, what I did was I got into addictions, in my 20s. And that just totally kept me sick. I went to a couple rehabs for other addictions, and they told me I was a sick person I was not a bad person getting better. I'm a sick person getting well. And they also, I also fell into the thing that I'm an addict. I accidentally did that as a Freudian slip. When I said, introduce yourself, and I said, my name is Eddie and I'm an addict. And not knowing what I know today, what I was actually saying is I can get addicted to anything, alcohol, drugs, gambling, lying, overworking, all those things. And this food thing, with the addiction to food, it was 12 years before I got back into the rooms full time and actually working the program. And that happened because my sponsor, we were at a retreat, and I said, if I want to work this program and get recovery from this addiction, I got to get a sponsor. And I asked a person to be my sponsor. And he said, yes. He said, we'll work together, work the steps. So after the retreat, that was in September of 2019. We're working the steps, first, second, and third. And then he asked me when we were on the third step, he said, are you absent? I said, well, I'm trying. He said, well, you got to do better than try. He said, you got to put the food down. He said, because working these steps without being abstinent, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to help you because you're still in your disease. You're still in your addiction. And I said, okay. So I walked away and I said to myself, well, this is a nice guy. He's really trying to help me. And I really want to get abstinence. I said, I don't want to lose a sponsor. But I don't want to ask another man to help me. That's a hard thing for me. That's another person to help me. So I said, okay, I got abstinent November 27, 2019. And so I've been working that program with the 3 meals a day, nothing in between since. And my sponsor worked me through the steps, even though I worked through the steps in the other fellowships. And I was very thankful that he said that to me. But it's very harsh because it scared me. And when I get scared, I usually want to run away and say, F it. And I didn't do that this time. I said, well, I'm going to try. And I prayed, and the higher power got me abstinent. And so what has happened is I've been going to a lot of meetings. They say meeting makers make it, because there's going to be somebody sharing there that is going to tell part of your story or you're going to be able to relate to, and it's going to help you. So every meeting I go to, I learn something new, and I get encouraged, and I get strengthened, and I have more hope because my disease is always waiting for me to, it's actually doing push-ups, getting stronger, waiting for me to foul up and just pick up again. So what I do is for my recovery program, I eat 3 meals a day. I have an action plan. In the morning time I get up, I pray, and I ask my higher power to keep me absent today. I read my literature, and I go to a meeting, and I try and help another person. I am sponsoring. I have a couple sponsees, and I'm trying to help them. It's been successful with one person, so the other two are, still hanging out there. But I pray for them, and that's what I do. That's where my recovery's at. I'm very thankful that I got to share. Thank Joe for asking me, because I got a little nervous at first. I never spoke to a whole different group of people. Usually it's the people I know in my area. So this is healthy for me. It's good for me. It's about recovery. It's about doing the right thing for me. It's about being responsible. Someone asks me to speak or share or do service. Service has become very important to me. At all my groups, I either read something, or I'm doing something for the group, or I'm leading, or what they call leading or sharing. Just something that keeps me involved with recovery. Because of myself, I want to sit down and do nothing, and just let everybody else do something. So for my recovery, I try and do something. I have a meal plan. I eat 3 meals a day and nothing in between. I found out in my recovery that I actually like doing the same routine every day with the same foods. I have changed up a little bit sometimes. I always have to watch my volume at nighttime because it's my dinner time. But my one time for breakfast, I eat the same thing for like 6 months. And then at lunch, I was eating the same thing for lunch like 8 months. And my dinner was like 6 months. And I said, gee, I had to really look at that. I told my sponsor. My sponsor said, well, it's up to you. If it's a good, healthy food, it's fine. If you're not overeating, it's not a sugar item, it's really good. So I have switched also my breakfasts sometimes and my lunch a few times and my dinner just a couple times. So I found out for me, because I'm learning to know me and my disease, that routines are very good for me. They're very good for me. It's like a habit. I get up, I do my prayer, I do my readings, do my meetings, go out, do things I have to do. I'm retired, so I have a lot of free time. I help my neighbors. I do things around the house. I go to the gym if I can, and I talk to my sponsees. I'm always available to help someone because it makes me feel good, and I know it's about my recovery. So for me, this has been a great blessing to come to OA. I actually thought back in 2007 that before I got to OA that I'm just going to die of cancer or a heart attack or just plain old obesity. Because I kept getting bigger and bigger. And I got really upset when they used to say, well, it wasn't in the store, you pay $2 extra for larger size pants. I used to hate that, I said, well, I got to do something. I never did do anything. They charged extra for larger size pants. I didn't think that was fair, but it was the truth. I was too big for normal size clothes, so I had to buy the extra large size clothes. You wind up wearing a lot of sweatpants because they stretch and all. So it wasn't something where you go dressing. When I did get in recovery, I was able to go back to church and wear suits, nice fitting suits. And that was new for me. Like I said, wow, and some people said I even look good. What's very interesting about this time in my recovery, from 2019 to here, and started in March, I lost 60 pounds. And actually only 2 people have seen me in this 14 or 15 months. And it's really interesting because it's an oddity because a lot of times people would lose some weight. Everybody goes, oh, you look good, what you do and blah, 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 blah. I am working a program, but I have learned today that working my program is now working on my head and my thinking. I joined the step study workshop a few weeks ago, and we're back into the 4th step. We're doing the step study 4th step, and I'm actually finding more things about me, or even some things about present that, maybe some resentments and everything that I had to write down, which, we do that on Wednesdays, and becoming helpful to me. Because everything that happens to me, I give it to my higher power, because my higher power has saved me from myself and my diseases. Originally, when it was May of 1989.
Eddie, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. In May of 1989, I was coming home from work and I stood across the street in Philadelphia, and the church had a big cross outside. And all they said was, God, please help me. And ever since then, I know my higher power has been helping me. It was like a miracle that I get the help that I need. And I have a lot of issues still, but as long as I stay in recovery, that I know I can get better one day at a time. And for those people who are maybe just new or coming back, it works. It works because I've got over a year and a half. And when this pandemic started, I figured that's it, my abstinence, that's it. But the thing is that I kept going to meetings, I kept praying, kept asking the higher power to help me. And I actually can go more less to get more recovery. But of course, it's a lazy streak in me. But I have to push myself to do things. Doing this tonight is a push because I'm usually this time I'm watching television, get ready for bed. So it's new to me. I don't stay out that late at nighttime because I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning usually. I had the opportunity to go I have the opportunity twice a week to go to meetings in Japan. Right now they're 7 o'clock in the morning. Before the Eastern Standard Time it was 6 o'clock in the morning. And I really started my day off good with those meetings. And the people were very nice. And I met people from other countries, which is really great. So this program is a lifesaver for me and hopefully it can be for you. One day at a time, give yourself a break, give yourself a chance, just keep coming back. 12 years I was in relapse. I didn't realize that until just a couple months ago, somebody told me, you were in relapse for 12 years? Yeah, I guess I was. And 12 years went by pretty fast. So one day at a time, I stay in recovery, I work a program. And for that, I'm very grateful, I'm very thankful, I'm very grateful and thankful for everybody to be here. So they said there's a topic I picked for discussion, and I wrote 5 or 6 things down here, and I'm going to say, concerning the third step, made a decision. I made a decision a long time ago to get out of my disease, save my life, and it's been working for me. So thank you for allowing me to share, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie.